Hello and welcome to the Middlest, our Patreon-only show where we talk about the episode with the exact middle user rating. So this would be the and part of Law and Order.
Yeah, exactly.
We're in the and. Okay. So we want to see what the show looks like at its exact average because every show has highs and lows, but spends most of its time in that big middle. So welcome to the and. This is season 9, episode 20, Empire.
Empire. Just a significantly better episode
than
the best or the worst.
I don't know how this was the middle and not the best. Like, this show won an Emmy. This episode won an Emmy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, even if it wasn't rated the best, this should be in, like, the top at least 20 episodes in the rate. Being exactly in the middle is wild to me.
I might have made that up, that this episode won an Emmy. The director of this episode was nominated for an Emmy. This was the 200th episode of Law and Order. Let's
briefly get to a summary. A rich guy dies of a heart attack. For some reason that is never explained in a way that made sense to Meg and I, the police investigate this ferociously. Like, even when it seems to just have been a normal heart attack, they keep going and they keep interviewing people. It's unclear why, but they quickly find that he has been dosed with Viagra to a level unsafe for someone with the heart condition that he had. And we find that the person he most likely slept with was a lawyer, I believe.
No, she's the professional fundraiser.
Okay, so she's a professional fundraiser, and she is played by Julia Roberts. I was like looking at the timeline, being like, "Oh, was this Julia Roberts before she got famous?" No, this is Julia Roberts at like height of Julia Roberts.
Well, it's because this was when she was dating Benjamin Bratt.
Yeah, and what a get to just be like, I can get my girlfriend on there. By the way, that my girlfriend is like one of the most famous movie stars in the world.
Yeah, well, we don't know how that happened. She might have been a fan and wanted to do it.
Yeah. She's so much better than the show in it. Every time she gets to do stuff, she brings the show up to her level. And that's a lot of why this episode is so good.
It is really interesting to watch someone who is such a movie star, and you can entirely see why. Anytime they put the camera on that woman's face, you're just like, oh, she does so much with incredible face acting. Very much so that you could park a camera on her face the entire time and everyone would just be incredibly captivated. Just the little eye motions and just the subtlety of her performances and her vocal tone. And she's just, tons of star power in that Julia Roberts. I think she's going to make it.
I see bright futures for her. The plot gets a little convoluted. It kind of starts convoluted, stays convoluted. It's not why the episode's good. But basically, she needs to testify against an evil rich guy who's going to move the Giants from New Jersey to a new stadium in Manhattan, which seems wild to me that there would be room for that. The guy who was killed was going to rate the bonds lower than they wanted, which would have destroyed the entire stadium deal. So the rich guy tricked her into dosing him with Viagra. She needs to testify against him, so they move her to a motel upstate that they use to stash witnesses. And the police officer played by, what's his name again?
Benjamin
Bratt comes with her, and she kind of comes on to him. He very professionally tells her he's not interested, but they talk a bit about like their private lives. He has a wife with MS, and he's worried about the pain she's going to experience. This is another, along with Julia Roberts, just the fact that like he gets character beats and we get to learn a little bit something about him completely outside of being a policeman. Like, I know I found it very touching that what he's most worried about with his wife is the pain she's going to experience. I found that a very touching character beat that told me a lot about that character. But then, of course, it turns out she's evil, and she uses all of those details against him to make it seem like they had an affair. But her reasons for doing so are not clear to me. It's not clear what she's getting out of it or why they can't do anything about it. Ultimately, she loses, but does not get charged with anything, and the rich guy goes to prison.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of back and forth.
Yeah, the actual like plot elements were very confusing and never quite came together, but it didn't matter because really it was about like this idealistic cop doing his best and trying to defend himself as a family man, and then Julia Roberts just being a movie star.
And then also this is about what if someone who is very rich and powerful in New York City is involved in a crime. So Julian Spencer, who is sort of like this Donald Trump type character. Not like the way we know Donald Trump now, but the Donald Trump of the like early aughts and the late 90s. It was like, he's just a real estate mogul, like that sort of money, New York power system that's going on there. And like, there's very much like when it comes to a head that Julian Spector is involved in this crime, the district attorney for Manhattan picks up the phone, calls him right away, goes and meets with him in person. Like there's very much this kid glove handling of it.
And the judge immediately lets him go because he's like, oh, we can't have a court case against this guy. That wouldn't be seemly.
Yeah. And so, yeah. And Julian Spector, this Donald Trump type character, knows the district attorney by name, knows what sports he likes to watch. Like basically it's like you get tickets to everything forever. And so there is like a lot of that sort of bribery, one hand washing another happening in this. And ultimately he is prosecuted and found guilty for this murder.
And that's it for the main feed. To hear the rest of the episode, support us on Patreon. Patreon is how you say that word, at the link in the show notes. Thanks so much.